Welcome back, sports fans. It's Off the Cuff with Monte and Geoff. We're back for another episode of your favorite podcast / YouTube channel.
Right on.
I think
we
so.
are your favorite. We know that already.
I think so. I think that's why. I think that's also why you should hit the like button below, because we know you're going to like it.
And you're going to like it, and you're going to listen to us and not have to watch us.
There you go. That's another good point. That's another very, very good point. While you're doing that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell there. That will let you know when we upload new content.
Which is weekly.
Which is weekly. That's correct. And we're going to try and get on a schedule of 2 to 3 times a week here as we get going further on. So anyway, this week, some interesting stuff or exciting stuff in the high school realm in the state of Nebraska. Next week is the start of the boys and girls state high school basketball tournament.
Right, and they're going all the same week to get boys and girls together on the same week, which is unprecedented.
That is, it's unusual, and obviously it was a scheduling thing. I think there was the Big Ten Wrestling Championship is in Lincoln, which is awesome for the city of Lincoln. It does kind of throw things into a little bit of chaos for the high school basketball tournament this year.
Because ordinarily the girls will be starting, well, today's Thursday. So yes.
Yeah, and then next Thursday we'd have the boys. So
right.
We'll see how that goes. It's going to be very interesting. But you get to this time of year, you got to play the best to beat the best, and we've obviously talked about how some teams haven't played their best, and it can catch up to them. Unfortunately for Ravenna, they played not very well in their district final and got upset. Yeah. They weren't the only team throughout the state to have that happen to them, though.
No, they were not. Unfortunately, Ravenna probably did play their worst game of the year that I've seen anyway, and it was the worst time to do it.
Yeah.
But, they're going to regroup and have a good team again next year. I have no doubt about that.
Yep, and I would agree. Most of that team's coming back, and experience is always, as long as you use it, that experience is always a good thing. So
yes.
So anyway, so we decided, Monty and I did, since we love lists so much, that we would go ahead and each of us list our champion for each class. And this episode is going to be about the girls' state tournament. We're going to list our champion, and then maybe some interesting things to look out for during the tournament.
Gosh, I hope so. I hope we can find some interesting things.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
You're sure of that?
I'm positive.
If we have to make it up, even?
Okay. No.
It is off the cuff.
It is off the cuff, but we won't make things up.
Okay.
All right, Monty.
Sorry, viewers.
I'm going to let you go ahead and go first.
Okay, let's see. For Class A, girls. Millard South is the top seed. They're unbeaten on the year. However, I'm going to pick Fremont, the second seed, because I just don't think Millard South can go undefeated on the year. That's tough. That's tough.
It is very difficult. That's for sure.
But I'm sorry. No, never mind.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was gonna always root for a public school, but there's really no private schools in Class A this year.
It's kind of an anomaly there.
I'm sorry, no, Lincoln Pius. That's the only
Pius is there. Well, you got Fremont beating them first round, so that'll take care of that.
There you go. See you, Pius.
And I did not choose Fremont. I have Fremont winning their first game, but I actually have Millard South going through and actually completing that undefeated season.
That would be cool for them.
It would be. From my very limited experience or limited following of Class A basketball on the girls' side, I think they're the deepest and most balanced team. I think they'll go ahead and take care of that, take care of business in that class.
We shall see.
Yep, we shall. All right, Class B.
Class B. This one was tough because the top two seeds are, one is Elkhorn North and 2 is Omaha Skutt. They both have one loss, and Elkhorn North recently beat Omaha Skutt, and I don't remember if it was an overtime game or not, but it was a game that went down to the wire.
It was very close, and actually, so Elkhorn North has one loss. That was to Omaha Skutt earlier on in the year.
Okay, so they traded losses.
They traded losses. Elkhorn North beat them in the sub-district finals, I believe. That's 2 really good teams right there.
It is, and number 3 seed Adams Central is no slouch either. And ordinarily, I would root for them to do this. I just don't think you can go against either Skutt or North. And in this case, I'm choosing Elkhorn North.
Yep.
To take it all home.
I tell you what, they've got that Prince gal, young.
Who's a sophomore.
Yeah, she's something else. Very smooth operator, and especially for that young, she's got all kinds of D1 offers. I've got Elkhorn North winning.
We agree on that one.
We do agree on that one. I don't normally like to choose the 1 seed, just because it seems like a lot of times they don't make it.
Well, that's 2 in a row though for you.
That is two in a row. But as you'll see, I don't really tend to follow that. Maybe I will as I go along, but in this case, I do think Elkhorn North is probably going to win the whole thing.
All right, we agree on that. Sweet. All right, so on to Class C1. And there's a couple, the number 1 seed there is Lincoln Lutheran. And I chose them because I looked at their schedule and I don't see anybody staying with him in the rest of the class, in all honesty. And, you know, you got to figure, and being a school in Lincoln where you got a town of 200,000 people or more, to have your choice of athletes to play in your small team, what can go wrong?
I sense a little sarcasm there. Maybe a little tongue in,
just
maybe just a little tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
I actually went away from the number 1 seed in this one, and of course I'm a little bit of a homer because Broken Bow, my hometown, made it to state, and actually I had Broken Bow going to the finals. However, I don't think it's going to matter because I think that North Bend, who has won state the last few years, is the team to beat again. They've got the 2 sisters that are phenomenal. I watched them play down in Kearney at that showcase event. They are fantastic. So
what's their last name? Do you know?
I guess I knew you were going to ask me, but
sorry.
I can't. And I believe they have a younger sister that's like a freshman. So there's another one coming through the system, but they are very, very good. So I think North Bend wins that one.
Okay. Well, so that's a 2 seed for you then. All right.
Yes.
Well, and you'll see, sports fans, as we move on to Class C2, that I've got an annoying habit of picking the number 1 seed from here on out. But and in this one, I don't see how you can pick anybody else in this class again. I hope somebody proves me wrong because the number 1 seed is Hastings St. Cecilia, and they've only got 2 losses all year. None of them are to Class C2 or lower competition. The 2 closest games they've had in Class C2 was they won by 13 points over Superior, and they won by 15 points against Sutton. And Sutton's in the field as a 6 seed, so I just don't see anybody beating them. Of course, I will root for somebody else to do so. Just don't expect it to happen.
You know what? I think that Hastings St. Cecilia is a very good team as well. I have them going to the finals too. However, I actually have them being beaten in the finals by a team from way out west in Bridgeport. Bridgeport has only had 1 loss on the season, and it was a 4-point loss to Adams Central, who Monte had mentioned earlier, again at that showcase in Kearney. They're a good team. I think they might sneak up on St. Cecilia, and I would love to see it. I'm always a big fan of Western teams doing well down at state.
So am I.
And the fact that they have a chance to knock off a parochial school might not.
Oh, that would be sweet.
That would be nice.
Make sure you watch that, sports fans. if it all comes to pass, if they both make it to the final, that would be great.
Yes, it would.
Okay, so we're done with C2 then.
Done with C2.
Okay, Class D1, the one that Ravenna should be in, but unfortunately are not. And this one was tough for me. Elmwood Murdoch, they have 3 losses. They're the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is Fremont Bergen. And those are my 2 main choices, I guess, out of this field. Although I'll be rooting for Shelton, of course, for Coach Slover and them girls.
Yep.
But I decided to go with Elmwood Murdoch. I don't know why, because they're number 1 seed, I guess. And I like to pick number 1 seeds.
Well, I actually agree with you again. I think Elmwood Murdoch will win this bracket. However, I don't think it's going to be necessarily easy. They play Cedar Catholic, Hartington Cedar Catholic, and I think Cedar Catholic, although their record maybe doesn't show it, what I saw when they played Ravenna is you had a very athletic team. Makes you wonder if they had something happen early in the season, maybe some player injuries, something happened that they lost a bunch of games early because they were very athletic.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious. It's going to be a dogfight for Elmwood Murdoch to get her out of that first round. But I think once they get to the finals, then it'll be them and Bergen. Again, I think that will be a very tight game, but I do think Elmwood Murdoch is going to come out on top.
And you got to root for Murdoch there if they make it. If that matchup does happen, because
Yes.
Bergen, you don't want Bergen to win.
Yes.
Nobody does. All right, Class D2. Again, broken record. Number 1 seed, Falls City Sacred Heart. Perennial power. Number 2 seed, Humphrey St. Francis. Another parochial school.
Mm-hmm.
St. Mary's, number 3 seed. You get the gist.
Yeah.
So if you can't beat them, pick them to win, I guess. So I'm picking Falls City in this one.
Oh, and I tell you what, that seems like a hit, repeat, rerun to have Falls City Sacred Heart and
Whether
Humphrey
it's
St.
girls
Francis.
or boys or whatever.
Yeah, in that final, man, I couldn't even tell you how many times I've watched that game in the finals. Those 2 schools, they're very used to being there. They've got a lot of experience. I went in Falls City Sacred Heart as well. I'm pulling real hard in Class D2 for Crawford out from way out in the northwestern part of the state to pull some upsets and do some damage. But I think when it comes down to it, it'll be those two main schools again. In
I would
D.
love to see Myrna do something there too.
Yes.
I think that'd be cool.
Yes, that is cool. And I kind of forgot that Myrna was sitting in there. They had an interesting win in their district final, and I was glad to see that they made it to state. Yeah, they had a game was tied 26-26. Girl got fouled right with like 3 seconds to go in the game. It was right at the end of the game. She could not. She was injured, could not shoot the free throws, so they brought in a freshman off the bench to shoot the free throws. It was a 1-and-1. She missed the first one, and there was a lane violation on the other team. Got a second chance, made it the second time, and they ended up going to state. So quite an interesting path to the state tournament. But that's awesome. That's how it goes. You know, the slimmest of margins can make a huge difference.
It certainly can.
So that's kind of our little run through the classes. I'm just going to throw these out there. If you're a basketball fan, I think there's a couple games to really watch. I think if you go Class C1. The North Bend Grand Island Central Catholic game, I think, in the second round, I'm guessing is going to be there, could be a fantastic game. Class C2, I think in the second round, Bridgeport and Guardian Angels Central Catholic, I think that will be a fantastic game to watch. So those are my two picks if you're watching any games to watch.
I would second that. I have no other options. So
okay, and that's just kind of how my mind works. But anyway. Yeah, we just wanted to run through these classes and kind of give our little takes on them. We always appreciate the comments that get put on our videos. Feel free to let us know where we're wrong and right, but probably wrong. But anyway, that's all I've got for this episode. You, Monte?
That's all I've got as well.
All right, sounds good. Signing off.
Signing off.